Getting set for our Class 2A state championship game coming up next between number 1 St. Thomas More and number 6 Prophetstown. Chris Mennick's been here before. He was here a year ago. It didn't go the way you wanted it to. This time around, you got a learning experience. I think that helped with your girls, did it not?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, you got to be gentle on me now. I caught a lot of flack last time when I was on here, but no, our kids had a great time this season. Just a lot looser and just enjoying the moment and the ride. And you know, we'll see what happens when we tip it up.
You know, you have a lot of confidence in your team, and it's still a tricky situation to be in this particular title game. What do you talk about your kids about making sure they do all the right things to make sure they come home with the number 1 trophy?
Well, we just reminded them, you know, you don't have to be better than Whitney Young today. You don't have to be better than Neuqua Valley. You just have to be the best team in the gym today, this moment. And, you know, if they come in with the same composure they had last night, you know, hopefully it'll work out. But as you saw in the last game, you know, you can't take anything for granted.
Let's talk about the matchup with Prophetstown. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
You know, there's good balance. You know, I mean, I'm trying to get our kids not to look at the height of their players, but I'm trying to make sure they look at the balance, that all the kids will put the ball on the floor. They'll all look to try to score quickly if it's there. You know, just having that composure on offense. So we'll see if we can stay disciplined on defense and not get ourselves into too rattled too early. And we'll see what the tempo is.
One more personally for you, leaving last year, losing, that can't feel good. This is probably a little bit of a redemption tour for you tonight as well.
I can't, I mean, for them to talk about it in March, you know, knowing that, like I said, the bullseye's been on their back all year long to get back here, it's a daunting task to go wire to wire. I don't care what sport, where, how good you are. And, you know, our kids, it's just been their fight, resilience. And now just to see the smiles coming through on it, I hope they can finish that chapter in this book.
Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Head coach Chris Mennick of St. Thomas More. He's not feeling his best, fighting food poisoning symptoms himself. He's going to coach the best he can. His girls are going to play the best they can as well. We'll have a conversation with Don Robinson, the head coach of Prophetstown, next. The 2A title game coming up on the IHSA television network. About 10 minutes away from tip-off between number 1 St. Thomas More and number 6 Prophetstown as we get set for our Class 2A state championship game. Head coach Don Robinson of the Lady Prophets talking here with us. 37 years to be in this position for the first time. Just step back for a minute and tell me what it feels like.
You know, I didn't know if this moment would come, really. And these kids believed in me, and we just took the games one at a time. So I feel honored and blessed to be here. I really do.
I understand that it's not their fault, but 26 wins, 27 wins, 29 wins. You've had some good teams that have come so close. How frustrating had that been for you?
You know what? I never really looked at it as a point of frustration. You know, I looked at it as a learning experience. You know, I wanted to learn from, hey, what do we need to work on? And I'm proud of those kids. They set the foundation. I asked my girls, who are your Lady Prophets that you watched? And so those ladies on those other teams, they set the foundation for this to happen.
Now, as far as this matchup goes, number 1 St. Thomas More, they've got a lot of weapons. Where do you start?
They do have a lot of weapons. And I'll be honest, we're not going to put in anything special. We're going to play basketball the way we played all year. And I think if we tried to stop one, they have so many weapons that they'd hurt us at other places. So they're fun to watch. I kind of call it, they're a tall task. And I just hope we can hang in there and, you know, see what happens.
One more and we'll let you go and get ready for this one. You've been in Prophetstown for a long time. What does this mean for the community to be here in this position and to come home with a title tonight if you can do that?
Well, if we came home with a title, I mean, that would be maybe a miracle. But the deal is this town supported us as by the people that are in our crowd section today, and the school spirit's been unbelievably high. That's been what's been good about this, school spirit and the town behind us.
Makes it a lot of fun.
It does make it fun.
Have fun tonight.
Thank you.
Head coach Don Robinson, who again, 36 different track meets he's seen in the state championships. First time as a head coach in one of these for the women's basketball state championship, so to speak. Your 2A title game between St. Thomas More and Prophetstown is next. Number 1 versus number 6, St. Thomas More of Champaign back for a second straight year, trying to get that elusive title. In the meantime, Prophetstown, the entire town of Prophetstown, is here in hopes of his school's first state championship. Welcome into our broadcast. Matt Rodewald with you here at Redbird Arena on the campus of Illinois State University. It may be snowing up to the north, so the folks in Quad Cities and Champaign just settle on enjoy some basketball for you tonight. How did they get here? Well, let's take a look at the brackets and show you how they got to this point. Champaign, St. Thomas More getting wins over Riverton in the Super Sectional, no problem for them. And then a 20-point win over Teutopolis. Entering the weekend, St. Thomas More had won their games in the tournament by an average of 40 points. Not the same for Prophetstown, who's had a very much a heart attack type journey the entire way to get here. Getting a win over IC Catholic last night, and then getting here tonight, taking on St. Thomas More. Number 1 versus number 6. And now Don Robinson knows his team is good, but he even said just a couple of minutes ago, it may take a miracle for them to beat St. Thomas More. How good is Tori Mccoy? She has one game to really elevate that legacy. We'll see if she can do that tonight. And for the call of this one, let's send it over to Dave Bernhardt and Patricia Babcock-McGraw. Guys?
Thank you very much, Matt. I don't know if it'd be a miracle or not, but if he says so, okay. But, you know, Trish, I look at your career, Miss Basketball in Indiana, an all Big Ten performer at Northwestern. Have you been in an environment where there's been this much emotion over the course of a weekend?
I don't think so. I've never played in a state championship game, unfortunately, but I think that's what really kind of comes to the surface in a game like this. All the emotion. Playing in a state title game is emotional to begin with, but for these two teams, you break it down. St. Thomas More, the emotion of redemption. They lost in the state championship game last year. They want to win it this time. And for Prophetstown, it's the emotion of playing for Coach Don Robinson. 37 years in this business. This is the first time he is breaking through. Big emotional moment for Prophetstown.
We are ready to go. We've been waiting a long time, all season, for your Class 2A championship game, and it's coming your way next on the IHSA Television Network.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, before our soloist sings our national anthem, we ask that you remember and honor the men and women of the United States Armed Forces serving throughout the world with this moment of silence. Thank you. And now we ask you to join our guest soloist, Cameron Cornell, a senior student at Judah Christian High School, in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's go to the starting lineup for this Class 2A championship game of the 2014 IHSA Girls Basketball State Tournament. First from Prophetstown, a junior, number 13, Tori Reilly. From St. Thomas More, a senior, number 1, Renda Harshbarger. From Prophetstown, a junior, number 14, Heather Strike. From St. Thomas More, a junior, number 5, Elizabeth Bristow. For Prophetstown, a senior, number 24, Carly Stafford. For St. Thomas More, a senior, number 12, Courtney Wax. For Prophetstown, a junior, number 30, Shelby Adams. For St. Thomas More, a sophomore, number 23, Tori Mccoy. For Prophetstown, a junior, number 44, Claire Kramer. for St. Thomas More, junior number 24, Lexi Wallen. Prophetstown brings a 31-2 record into tonight's game. The Lady Prophets are coached by Don Robinson. St. Thomas More brings a 32-2 record into the game. The Sabres are coached by Chris.
This is what it's all about. Tip-off next. It may be one of the biggest crowds we've seen for a 2A state championship ball game. Across the way, you see the orange of Prophetstown. On the near side, it's filled with folks from the Champaign area. St. Thomas has come out in force to support their team. And what a great story is going to be written here tonight, no matter what happens. You've got the team number 1 all season long in St. Thomas More in the storybook season of Prophetstown as we take a look at tonight's officials. Tori Mccoy easily controls the tap, and it will be the Sabres from St. Thomas More with it first. Touch McCoy. Bristow, the follow, and 1.
Bristow coming off a great game last night, 13 points, 6 of 11 field goals. I thought she was a force to be reckoned with, and you knew that St. Thomas More would be looking to go inside to Tori Mccoy right away. But I like the fact that Elizabeth Bristow not taking anything for granted there and coming up with that offensive rebound.
3 quick points following her 13.3 rebound effort. And the full court pressure begins. Prophetstown will retain possession. Lady Prophets from Prophetstown, a short team. In fact, their tallest starter, Claire Kramer, is 5'8". She'd be the 4th tallest player on the St. Thomas More team. Harshbarger. Nifty little dribble.
We saw that a lot last night against Teutopolis. Teutopolis had 19 turnovers, and Amanda Harshbarger did a nice job of converting those turnovers into easy buckets like that.
Pressure broken. And one the other way. Heather Strike with the basket.
Out the basket by Heather Strike.
Heather Strike just attacking, absorbing that contact. That was a nice strong move to the basket. Coming off 11 points last night.
It was Strike who made 2 free throws with 3 seconds left in a sectional semifinal that sent the game to overtime. Ball game that obviously Prophetstown ended up winning. Bristow on the baseline. This is a fundamentally sound Prophetstown team, and they take care of the pressure. That's 2 straight times now they've taken care of it. Strike, she'll launch the 3. St. Thomas More, Trish, they come in here to the championship game, 2nd year in succession. What do you see as their keys?
The keys for St. Thomas More, target practice, size matters. Target practice, they've had that target on their back all season long. In fact, their warm-ups have a bullseye on the back. Time for them to handle that pressure one more time, and you've got to use the size of Tori Mccoy. Prophetstown, they don't have an answer for her height-wise. You mentioned it, their tallest player, 5'8". She's 6'4". You got to use that.
And they did that trip down for the early 9-3 lead. 4 juniors and a senior in the starting lineup for Prophetstown. Carly Stafford wears number 24. She is the only senior, in fact, in the top 7 for this team. She launches that shot. Touched last by the Lady Prophets. Reilly will meet Randa Harshbarger at half court. Courtney Wax, the lob, perfectly done to McCoy.
Very nice pass, because all McCoy had to do was keep that ball above her head.
Tori Mccoy, 6'4", sophomore, averages 18.7 points per game, and Prophetstown's keys.
Yeah, switching it up and moving it, switching it up on defense. With that lack of size for Prophetstown, they've got to keep their defense moving between maybe a man, a zone, a little bit of everything to kind of keep St. Thomas More a little bit off balance. And then they've got to keep their offense fluid. They've got to move the basketball. Last night they had 12 assists on 18 baskets. They got to be able to break down that St. Thomas More defense in the half-court set.
Exchange of baskets from Reilly and Tori Mccoy add a turnover in, and it will be Sabres basketball with an 8-point lead. Mccoy to Lexi Wallen. Wallen, the 6-footer.
You see the emphasis of hitting the block, getting it inside. That time McCoy with the high-low post action to Wallen. Passes inside on the block are very nice, nicely done.
And that ball will squirt out of bounds, and it will be St. Thomas More basketball. It's about midway through the first quarter, a 10-point lead for #1 team in the state.
Well, colleges all across the country are courting 6'4" sophomore Tori Mccoy from St. Thomas More, and there's a reason for it. She's having a fabulous tournament down here. Had 17 points, 8 rebounds last night. She's averaging almost 19 points per game. Just on a quick start here, 3 of 4 from the field for 6 points, and they are looking for her. Remember, Prophetstown, no player taller on the roster than 5'8". Mccoy at 6'4" can really expose that.
St. Thomas More, 7 of 9. Prophetstown's done all right. They've just taken 5 less shots, and they'll get an opportunity after this turnover. Reilly. She was in the 3-point shooting contest yesterday, did not advance as the champion, misses on that 3.
She had some other things on her mind yesterday.
Yeah, she shot that right before that semifinal game, a ball game that Prophetstown won over Teutopolis. You saw right there Tori Mccoy just standing on her tippy toes, deflecting that ball off one of the Prophetstown players. I heard Don Robinson tell Matt Rodewald before the game, this will be a tall task. Lexi Wallen, second team All-Stater.
Well, that's the thing. I'm sorry, Dave, but you don't get a break. Tori Mccoy at 6'4", but Lexi Wallen big inside as well at 6 feet.
17-5 lead for St. Thomas More, and that one will fall out. Kramer, a rebound. And look at McCoy rip it out of there. She'll bring it up the floor. Ahead to Bristow. And Reilly gets her hand in there. Reilly, so quick. Here's Corey, the 5'2" junior, averages 10.7 points per game. She was an honorable mention All-Stater, along with teammate Claire Kramer. Rebound will go to Reilly. Harshbarger, 5'5" senior. She had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals last night. She deflects that ball out of bounds.
Well, she got the job done on defense just as much as she did on offense.
Inside, outside, strike, short. Wallen ahead to Harshbarger, who broke on the shot and sneaks it in.
Their strike did a nice job of getting back on defense for Prophetstown, but Ida Harshbarger just too good that close to the basket.
Thomas More with 19 points in this quarter. We still have 2.5 minutes to play. Reilly got that ball off in a hurry. McCoy up and over, and there's a push in there somewhere. And it will go against the Lady Prophets. Prophetstown fans don't like that. They thought that it may have been McCoy that went up and over, and now a horn at the scorer's table, just that ball was inbounded.
think the scores table is questioning who was that foul called on. Town fans got their point across, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They've now put the foul against Tori Mccoy. That may have been the case all along, just a little confusion somewhere along the way, but it will be Prophetstown ball. Quick three from the corner.
Prophetstown is going to have to hit some outside shots. It's going to be tough to score in the paint tonight with all that height for St. Thomas More.
This is a team that shoots them. Yeah. Lady Prophets, a couple of players that have made over 45 threes this season.
They've got 162 as a team on the season.
Cassie Henriksen. There it is. Off the bench, Cassie Henriksen.
She's one of the leaders in three-point field goals for this team.
Tori McCoy's 8th point of the night. Henriksen stopped by big number 23. Turnover forced. Harshbarger ahead to Bristow. On the scoop. And they'll get Bristow with the foul as going hard for the rebound was Shelby Adams for Prophetstown.
Bristow kind of just misjudged that, but I like Harshbarger's defense on the other end there. Got stopped by Tori McCoy, and Harshbarger came up from behind and stole the ball away.
Let's go to Matt Rodewald.
After that last basket for St. Thomas More, Chris Mennick furiously trying to get a timeout, didn't get it. Then on their way up the floor the other way with the possession, tried to get a timeout and didn't get it that time either.
I wonder if he has lost his voice with the food poisoning. Oh, look at Bristow all over Henriksen. Finally gives it up to Reilly. But there's the quickness of Courtney Wax to disrupt the offense.
Bristow has made such a difference this year for St. Thomas More. You saw her harassing the ball up there up top. She's got 5 points already in this game. Last season, just 3 points per game for Bristow. Didn't get a lot of minutes. She really worked over the offseason to improve. And she adds that element of quickness on both ends of the floor.
Kicked clean by Harshbarger. That's what she does. The all-time leader in points, assists, and steals at St. Thomas More.
She is a big reason with her quickness and her nose for the ball that St. Thomas More is averaging 30 turnovers forced per game.
Reilly comes up short. Wax to Bristow. Fouled and scores.
St. Thomas More does such a nice job in transition. Once they secure the basketball, they're off to the races. They've got people filling the lanes down the floor. And boy, they can score in a hurry, can't they?
Well, they have 25 on the board here in the first 8 minutes of this game.
Yeah. Much different game than the third place game. This is a game in which we're going to see some points on the board. Both of these teams can fill it up. We talked about Prophetstown and how they can hit three-pointers like crazy. And St. Thomas More, boy, they just have so many weapons on offense. You heard Don Robinson talk about that before the game. It's kind of almost a pick-your-poison approach when you're trying to defend the St. Thomas More team. Last night in the semifinals, they had 4 players in double figures.
Bristow with their second three-point play of this quarter. She and McCoy with 8 points each.
Gotta get a shot up.
Not going to do it. After one quarter, the team who has not lost to a Class 2A team all season long leads it big. St. Thomas More all over Prophetstown in your 2A title game.
St. Thomas More in command early on, 26-8, as we head to our second quarter of our Class 2A state championship game. Matt Rodewald with you here at Redbird Arena. And for St. Thomas More, looking into this game, we asked Chris Menig what he thought of this matchup, and he said this is the kind of team in Prophetstown that reminded him of his old teams that he had at St. Thomas More before, as he puts it, the college kids started to show up. They don't make very many mistakes. They do the things the right way. On the flip side, St. Thomas More has had a tendency to turn the ball over a little bit, but so far they're doing everything right.
An 18-point lead after one. You see the stats on St. Thomas More, members of the Sangamon Valley Conference, and that will come to an end this year, the final season of Sangamon Valley. In 9 years that St. Thomas More in the conference, 7 titles. But talk about a tough conference this year, Sangamon Valley. 4 of the 8 teams in that conference won regionals, and 3 others lost to SVC teams. And a lot of those folks be glad to see St. Thomas More out of the league. The Sabres 78-3 since December of 2007 in conference play. Kaylee Kabarik into the game for St. Thomas More. She handles it. And the bounce will go to Michaela Bolton as Don Robinson getting some players off his bench into this ball game early. On the other side, Leah Allison has come in for the Sabres from St. Thomas More and unable to save it. Yet another reserve, that is Hannah Murray. So both coaches have gotten a few different players in here. In the opening moments, that pass nearly drew iron.
Well, David, you were mentioning the conference schedule for St. Thomas More, but how about the non-conference schedule for this team, and just the challenges that Chris Menig puts in front of his team every year, trying to build the toughest schedule possible to make his girls battle-tested and ready for environments like this where the pressure's really on. He played 5 Class 4A opponents this year, 16 ranked opponents between the 4A and 3A teams on their schedule this year, 4-1 versus ranked 4A teams. They did a great job against some very tough competition. And you kind of see that confidence here. You see the savviness of this St. Thomas More team. Not much rattles these guys.
You talk about an impressive schedule. McCoy goes hard. What's really impressive to me is the 4A Super Sectionals will be on Monday. And 3 of those teams, Neuqua Valley, Whitney Young, and Geneva, are all teams that St. Thomas More has played at various times of the year. They lost to Whitney Young, but defeated Neuqua Valley in the season opener. That Chris Menig said that was basically a coming out party. I mean, it was like thrown into the fire immediately. And Geneva, of course, in the supers as well. That was a key victory actually for St. Thomas More in the McDonald's shootout at Willowbrook High School in January. One of the games that propelled them here as part of their 22-game winning streak.
And obviously, the St. Thomas More team is loaded, and they've got college prospects on the team, and Miranda Harshbarger is going to be playing next year at Southern Indiana. But I think that should give hope to a lot of 2A schools that are very talented, that you can go out and compete with the bigger schools. You don't need to shy away from that. Go out and get yourself some good competition and get ready for the state tournament, and so you can compete down here at Redbird Arena.
Well, one of the reasons Chris Menig went and played a lot of the northern schools is because he wanted to play against teams that also played fast. You know, teams in the teams in the central Illinois and the southern part of the state play a little bit slower.
Yep.
He wanted to go up tempo with them.
Yep. And that's part of the reason that they average 30 forced turnovers per game. A lot of 2A teams downstate aren't used to that style, that tempo, that aggressive defense. But he told us that when they go up north and play the bigger schools and some of those tournaments, that they're just like everybody else, which is kind of good. It's kind of good to be able to see that and to know how to attack it yourself.
Prophetstown here not backing down, though. They do turn the ball over for their 6th time, and up the floor hard down the left baseline, Lexi Whalen to Tori Mccoy, and McCoy in double figures with 11 here at the 5:36 mark of the second quarter.
Tori Mccoy has such good hands. They're throwing her all kinds of passes, and it's just like she's got the suction cups on the hands. It's just the ball sticks right to it, and up she goes for 2.
Ball hit glass from Kabarik. it's Reilly again. No for strike. Kavarik fouled, and to the line she goes.
And you see when Prophetstown gets the ball into the paint, that height of St. Thomas More. A lot of tall players in there right now. And that bothers them. You see some of those shots in the basket just aren't shots that they would normally shoot. This is a very fundamentally sound basketball team. And you can tell that their shots are being altered to try to get up over the top of the long arms of St. Thomas More. We've got Leah Allison was in the game just now, and she's 6'1" for St. Thomas More. I mean, they've got the height in the starting lineup, and they've got nice height off the bench as well.
Michaela Bolton has a seat. She'll watch Kavarik's second free throw attempt fall off. McCoy on the move. Spins, and too good of a move. She claps her hands together, a sly little grin, somewhat of a look of disgust. You could have put a charge in this crowd had that gone, and there not been a travel. However, everything going right for the Sabres. They lead it 29-11. Champaign, and what Chris Menning elected to do, he said, you know what, we are not going to stay in a local hotel in the Bloomington Normal area. We'll just commute up and down I-74, let the kids just get into their natural routine, make it seem like a normal day. And on the other side, Prophetstown, they are milking every moment out of this tournament. In fact, this afternoon, they were in attendance for the 1A third place game and the 1A championship ball game.
They want to drink it all up, Dave. Remember, this is their major breakthrough here. Don Robinson, 37 years coaching girls basketball in the state of Illinois, all at Prophetstown. This is his first trip to the state finals. He wants to be here for everything.
In fact, in a way, Prophetstown was here for the 1A championship game to honor Anawan. Anawan, the last team to beat Prophetstown. That was all the way back on December 11th. Since then, the Lady Prophets have ripped off 24 in a row.
And remember, Prophetstown used to be 1A. They moved up to 2A this year. Whoa.
McCoy wanted the block, the rebound, the drive, and the score. She got most of it.
And this is where we're kind of seeing her grow as a player, Dave. These moves, they're spectacular. You got the block on the one end, and she's trying to finish with a spectacular acrobatic move on the other end. Not quite there yet, but again, remember, Tori Mccoy, as good as she is, she's just a sophomore. She's still refining her game.
Adams can't get a shot off.
And again, we've talked about it in the past, but that's what Chris Menning wants to see out of Tori Mccoy. And what a big three-pointer in the face of Tori Mccoy that was for Carly Stafford. But Chris Menning wants Tori Mccoy to add all of those different aspects to her game. Answered by a three-pointer by Lexi Wallen on the other end.
If you were with us for the third place game at Teutopolis and IC Catholic, nothing like what you are watching right now. And the block by Kramer, but McCoy stays with it.
See how she can handle the ball. She can score in transition.
Kavarik waits and scores. 20-point difference here in your Class 2A championship ball game. And a three from the corner off the bench by Lauren Croft.
Whatever lids were on the baskets for the third place game have long been removed. Put it in some corner somewhere because these two teams are on fire.
Wax the steal, has Harshbarger ahead if she wants her. And Kavarik on top of Harshbarger.
If you look at the Prophetstown players, though, they all look a little gassed, Dave. I don't feel like they are used to this type of style, this much up and down. Because not only are they going up and down in transition, but they're having to deal with a lot of pressure from St. Thomas More. It's just relentless.
Timeout.
Thomas Moore will take a timeout with 2:46 to play here in the first half and a 23-point lead. And a number of those players on the Prophetstown team, members of the track team that Don Robinson coaches, but it's one thing to run track and another to be, as you said, under this pressure and the different types of cuts and back and forth in the physical play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's running up and down the floor in transition, but it's also trying to handle that defensive pressure. You just never get a break from it.
Coming up to the half here of our Class 2A championship ball game, we're going to give away some trophies. Your third and fourth place trophies will be given to Topless and IC Catholic Prep. They played just moments ago, a little while ago, and it was a 32-28 win for Topless. So all the players will receive their medals, and those teams will bring home trophies. It will be the 15th time that Topless will have come to the state finals. They'll bring home their third place trophy. IC Catholic Prep first basketball trophy. Matt?
Yeah, they'll be out here in just a couple of minutes. One thing I noticed, Dave, IC Catholic, they're still in their uniforms, which is something you never really see for the third and fourth place trophy. It's time to get the warm-up shirts on, maybe a dress shirt or something like that. Everybody looked nice for the pictures. Maybe they want to just have the uniform on with the medals on, something we rarely see here in Normal.
It's interesting, but I will bet you, Matt, that there is a reason for that. I will bet there is something as part of the team that make that team last as long as you can.
Exactly. They want to keep the moment going, I think. It's hard, especially you got some seniors on that team. It's hard to take that uniform off for the last time.
Wallen, oh my.
That's a mark on that ball.
Double figures with the 11. McCoy with 13, a 41-16 lead. We still have 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Heather Strike battling through the lane. We saw St. Thomas More during the third place game. Their players, before they went to the locker room, dancing during one of the breaks. They were nice and loose, and boy, they have played that way here in the first half. That
was really fun. It's very easy to be all jittery and nervous and all kinds of crazy thoughts going through your mind before a state championship. It was nice to see them enjoying that.
Wallen running the floor.
Pass.
Harshbarger to Wallen.
That's like a football play right there between the quarterback and the star receiver. Right on the money, in stride, half-court pass from Randall Harshbarger.
Wax after it's batted away by Murray. Stafford to Strike. Three ball going up. And you can tell the three-point attempts, several have been coming up short, and that goes to your comment earlier about legs.
They're losing their legs. Well, and they're rushed. They're rushed down on the other end. There's Tori Mccoy and all the girls from St. Thomas More dancing a little bit, loosening up. It's a good pre-game routine. Gonna have to add that to the mix a little bit more in coming years. Yeah, you talk about the missed three-point shots on the other end for Prophetstown. I think they're rushed because they're coming out of beating the pressure, and then their legs are starting to go a little bit. I think that they look a little tired.
Floater will not go for Reilly, and no let up here in the pace for the Sabres.
And on the other end, those three-point shots, Prophetstown just 2 of 13 from three-point range.
Once again, Murray will try it. Don Robinson wants a timeout here, under a minute to play in the first half. And I think he sees what you see, just to gather things together here and take a deep breath and then come back for the final minute.
Break it up a little bit, get some water going, get a little breather, and then you're trying to get a really good last possession. You want to go into halftime with a little bit of confidence, feeling good about yourselves a little bit. Hey guys, let's run a play and let's run it crisp right out of the break.
Those guys right there were here before the start of the third place game. And our thanks go to the Neoga High School band. They are our pep band here this evening. Last night it was Tuscola High School, and again, every weekend they Pep band on a Friday, pep band on a Saturday, all part of the atmosphere at your state finals. And we will be right back here at Redbird Arena next Friday, starting at noon. It will be Class 3A girls action, and Friday evening 4A, and then we'll repeat the process, give some trophies away next Saturday. Following that, 2 weekends in Peoria for the 4 boys state champions. It is America's original March Madness. Chris Menig in his 8th season finished second last year, 196 wins and just 51 losses. He came here with a calmness this year. The players were much more relaxed. In fact, I interviewed Randa Harshbarger on Thursday, and I said, you know, I talked to you last year, didn't I? Yes, you did, sir. And I said, you seem much more relaxed this year. Oh, yeah, this is much easier this year.
She's an old pro at it now.
Yep. Opportunity here for Don Robinson. He has several reserves into the ball game. Handling it right now is Kayla Crane to Brooke Reilly. Reilly back to Reilly. Reilly back of the iron wall in the rebound. 25 seconds left, first half. Ahead to Bristow. Wallen. She likes those high arcing shots.
Does. Beautiful shots. Lots of arc on the basketball.
16 first half points for Wallen. That 3 will come up short for Reilly.
Dave, we talked about all the firepower that St. Thomas More has on this team, and they are certainly showing it here in this first half. Prophetstown just up against a buzzsaw.
A 30-point halftime lead for St. Thomas More, the #1 team in the state. And they are flexing it here tonight, outscoring Prophetstown 26-8 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, a 20-8 advantage for the Sabres. So they are cruising, and Matt Rodewald has Chris Menig.
Well, Chris Menig, this is a little more like it here at halftime of the state championship game. How'd you guys do it?
I mean, I think just tempo, our kids' energy on defense, and just mixing up some of the full court pressures that we did. You know, we talked about ball pressure was going to be the key tonight, so kids went out and did it right away.
You kids have a lot more confidence, and no more than Lexi Wallen. She's shooting with confidence. What makes her the most confident?
This whole playoff, I think she's shooting close to 60% from the arc right now. I mean, just being an upperclassman, it's amazing how their shoulders raise up when they become a junior.
Okay, Coach, good luck in the second half. And that's Chris Menig, the head coach of St. Thomas More, up 30 at the break. Third place and fourth place trophies coming up next. Point lead for St. Thomas More. They look a lot like the team that everyone expected to see here a year ago. They're doing it this time around. Let's take a look at the stats and show you the difference here. And of course, the Lady Prophets struggling shooting, and the turnovers have been a problem. 10 of them early on. A rebounding advantage for St. Thomas More, and they've been getting it and going. Those 3-pointers from Lexi Wallen for sure. She's got a couple of them from the outside. Not a whole lot of free throws on either end, so it hasn't been terribly physical in this one. But you can see the number of shots and the number that they've made for St. Thomas More. They've had a lot of easy buckets, and the points off turnovers, 14-0. And St. Thomas More has been in firm control of this one from the start, and they lead at this point 46-16. For Chris Menig, it'd be his first state title after losing against Nashville a year ago. 16 minutes away from that. St. Thomas More in control. We'll be right back. Class 2A state championship game about to start the second half, and the Prophets, a lot of work to do, down 30. Don Robinson, where do you start at this point?
You know, we're just going to try and compete and get our confidence up. We had shots. We just didn't make shots that sometimes we normally make. So, yeah, we're just going to try and compete and give it the best shot that we can.
A lot of athletes out there. It's important for your kids to get back.
It is important for us to get back. I don't think they realize that. Yeah, that's why we have an offense now that we're going to try 3 guards and see if we can get at least 2 back if 1 guard penetrates.
You don't want to say it's over, but has this allowed you to kind of look around a little bit and kind of enjoy yourself to be at this position?
You know what I told the girls? Hey, ladies, you know, no one thought we'd be second in the stage, so enjoy this moment. I know they've overwhelmed us a little bit, but they have a talented team and they're well coached.
Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Head coach Don Robinson of the Lady Prophets. He has 1 more year to teach 7th grade math, the middle school in Prophetstown, and we'll see if he coaches after that. Dave?
And you know, Matt, he is adored by his players. How emotional they've been, Trish, in these last couple of weeks. It seems like weeks, maybe the last week, what they've done for him and to be a part of it.
We just love Don Robinson here. He's adorable. You know, coaching the 7th graders as well as teaching them. In addition to coaching his own team, he's a beloved figure in that community, and finally getting to break through after 37 years. I mean, you cannot help but love his story.
Well, he's not necessarily loving that first half because he's down by 30, but he's still enjoying what's happening, the big picture. 46-16. That's your halftime score in the 2A championship. We'll get ready for third quarter action right after this. Back at Redbird Arena, along with Matt Rodewald and Patricia Babcock-McGraw, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Get ready here for third quarter. Both teams actually came out quite loose. St. Thomas More in their huddle doing a little bit extra dancing as well. And for Prophetstown, I really love the message Don Robinson sent to his team. Nobody thought we'd be second place, so enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go out there and play some basketball. Have fun with it. One thing that I thought was really telling that Chris Mennick told Matt Rodewald going into halftime, St. Thomas More coaching, so much is made of their offense and all the firepower they have on offense, but he really pointed to the ball pressure, the defense that St. Thomas More was able to play in that first half, and forced 10 Prophetstown turnovers. They scored 14 points on those turnovers, and Prophetstown shot just 23% from the field in that first half, 13% from three-point range. And there you see the defense again forcing another turnover.
And they close and help. Harshbarger forced the turnover. Wax had it, lost it for a moment, but there's Elizabeth Bristow to clean it up and to get a couple of free throws. Bristow with 8 points in the first half. Harshbarger has 6. It was Lexi Wallen, 16 points leading the way. Tori McCoy had 13. It's been the big 3, Harshbarger, McCoy, and Wallen, that led in scoring all season long. Drops off pretty quickly from there. Bristow will add about 11 points per game, and she'll get one right there as we open up the scoring in the third quarter.
Oh, it's really become the big 4 this year for St. Thomas More, and there's a big one right there. Tori McCoy not able to finish, but Bristow again, she has made herself a very valuable player this year. She was a reserve last year, and she's become part of that mix, part of that four-headed monster for St. Thomas More.
You know, and she's the type of player that every great team has. You know, Chris Mennick calls her the X Factor, but she's always in the right place, right time.
She is. She's got a good nose for the basketball. Tori McCoy cleaned up the miss there. But Bristow is very quick, and she uses her quickness well. Gets in there on defense, gets a lot of tips, deflections, and then she's able to get down the floor so quickly to score off of some of those turnovers.
Tori Reilly on the nice feed inside. Stafford once, twice, 3 times, it's blocked.
Ouch. Tori McCoy just waiting for an opportunity to slap that ball down.
Slick little pass from Harshbarger to McCoy.
And that reminds me of some of the youth basketball games I coach, where you got one tall player who can just reach over the top of everybody else and just keep on shooting it until she makes it. Tori McCoy, there's so much size advantage here in this game for her. We've talked again and again about Prophetstown, and poor Prophetstown from a size perspective, just 5'8" is their tallest player, and Tori McCoy 6'4", having her way in there when the ball gets up off the rim.
Rebounding numbers right now. Champaign St. Thomas More with 25-16 for Prophetstown. It will be Strike to take the 3. A team that shoots 3-pointers so well this season, just 2 of 16 here tonight. and only 6 of 30 overall.
And I thought that was going to be a key for them to be able to compete in this game. It's going to be hard to get it inside. They need to be able to knock down those three-point shots, but St. Thomas More's perimeter defense, the guards have been doing a nice job of covering that territory and not giving open looks from three-point range.
There's Bristow again. McCoy found her. Bristow just, again, finds herself in the right spot. Elizabeth Bristow, track athlete. She'll have some college opportunities in track.
Yeah, any defensive rebound that St. Thomas More gets, any turnover that they get, she is off to the races like she is on the track. She takes off down the court, and they find her many times.
Quiet night for Claire Kramer after 17 points and 5 rebounds last night in the semifinals. The honorable mention All-Stater looking for her first point tonight. 3-year varsity member, and that one will crawl through. Couple of free throws for Claire Kramer. She would have had a double-double in the super sectional win over El Paso Gridley. 53-18, 3 minutes into the third quarter.
It's like a little NBA play right there. Harshbarger to McCoy over the top of everyone. A nice little lob pass.
Harshbarger is so accurate on her passes from distance.
I know Chris Menning, he's going to have Tori Mccoy practicing, getting up there for as close as she can for a dunk for next year. That's her next trick, right?
There you go. Wallen will track it down, and here come the Sabres. Great hustle on the play by Carly Stafford. And we have an injury down at the other end.
It's like Tori Reilly, she is really in some pain there.
Everything was happening on the right. We'll check out Tori Reilly right after this. 55-18, big lead for the Sabres.
Yeah, it really means a lot to us. Like, I don't think any of us girls really would want anything else. We wanted to do this for Coach, and we knew that it was coming close. And being 4 of us seniors last year, we knew that we wanted this. So, yep. I think we're just all really excited to be here, and it's all of our dreams.
Well, even though Prophetstown is down, this is what it's all about, the emotion, the thrill of getting here to Redbird Arena. You know, we were so touched, Dave, talking with Don Robinson on our teleconference with him earlier this week. 37 years, he's finally breaking through, getting here to Redbird Arena for the first time. And there was this pause when we asked him about what does it mean to you to finally break through and get here. And I honestly thought that we had lost the connection with Don Robinson. And he finally came back to us, and he just, I think he was choking, he was in tears, I think. Just very much, you know, such a special moment for him. I almost couldn't articulate it, just what it means to get down here with these girls and what they mean to him, what this program means to him. And I thought it was so neat, too, the way he talked about how I didn't know if I was doing the right thing all these years. I'd questioned myself. We weren't breaking through. We'd have good seasons, and we couldn't get here. I'd come to the state tournament and watch players like Tori Mccoy block shots like that. Look at the way other coaches coach their teams and how they handled things, and was I doing the right thing to be able to get down here? And I thought that was neat, because how many coaches out there in the state of Illinois can relate to that? And just a very humble guy, just so appreciative of this moment and this journey that he's been on with this team, and really special to share that with him.
You know, and he admits, he says, I'm a lifer. I'm a lifer. In the last 2 games, he was referring to the 2 games before he got here to Normal. He said, the last 2 games, I told the girls, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader.
Well, he also told us, you know, I've tried to just do it my way, and my way being I just like to be positive with the girls. I like to build them up. I don't like to tear them down. And that's the way I wanted to keep doing it all these years, and it's finally worked. We finally broken through here, you know, keeping it classy and doing it the way that he likes to coach.
She hit a 3 a little while ago.
Great pass. Wow.
Let's check in with Matt Rodewall and get an injury update.
Yeah, just checked in with the training staff for Prophetstown, and of course, Tori Reilly says she's okay. Kind of banged that left knee a little bit there on the floor, and you may have caught a glimpse of it, but the camera panned over to her, and she happened to catch herself on the Jumbotron, had a little laugh at it, so I think she is okay.
It looked like she was okay because she was able to get up and walk off on her own power. You definitely don't want to see any kind of terrible knee injuries or anything like that at this point in the season.
Another great pass inside, this time to Wallen.
Linda Harshbarger sees the floor so well. She's able to position the ball exactly where her teammates need it to get to the basket and score.
Her ambition is to be a college coach, and you know, we get a chance to see her play a couple of times. Other folks, of course, see her more, but the more and more you see her, you can see the way she plays the game will transfer perfectly into a coaching situation for her.
Oh, I think that she's been the perfect leader for this team. Chris Madden gets emotional when he talks about her and what he's meant to this program. I've just been watching her body language and just the way that she's carrying herself here at Redbird Arena. She's so positive. She's been smiling the entire time that she's been here, and she definitely handles this team, this offense, that handles the ball, handles her role as point guard with such poise and savvy. She kind of brings a calmness to this team. As a senior, she sees that as her role. But I think that she'd be a great coach. She's gotten great life experience here on the floor and kind of how to handle a basketball team.
You saw Corey Reilly come back into the ball game, and she watched Carly Stafford hit a free throw. Stafford, the only senior in the top 7 in the rotation for Prophetstown. Those of you in Class 2A up from the northwestern part of the state, you may want to make a note of that if you haven't already, if you're looking ahead to next year.
They're going to be a force to be reckoned with next year, too, as will St. Thomas More. Their 3 top scorers, all underclassmen. Tori Mccoy, the biggest underclassman of all, just a sophomore.
And in the game now is Madison Mccoy, Tori's younger sister. And Harshbarger will bank it in. She shakes her head, somewhat embarrassed. It counts for 3. Wallen with her 5th rebound. McCoy another double-double tonight, 19 points, 10 rebounds, and Madison Mccoy goes down hard. Madison, just a freshman, 5'11" freshman. She's going to get a lot of playing time, but a knee injury late in the season. She just returned in the last regular season game on the Monday before the regional, re-injured it, and she's played very limited minutes since then. Now Randa Harshbarger comes out after banking in the 3. Here's that bank shot. Kaboom.
Cannot believe that she hit that one. She's just shaking her head in disbelief. But when it's working, Dave, and just about everything has here today for St. Thomas More.
Yeah, they have played the exact game they wanted to. Stafford misses on the 3. They've been right there and came in here, relaxed, and did a number. And speaking of numbers, put 3 behind the name of Cassie Henriken.
One by one, Chris Madden is bringing in his reserves, pulling out the starters. And as much as this is a great moment for the starters, and they're going to be able to enjoy this on the bench together as a group, what a great opportunity for all these reserves who put in all the time, who come to practice every day, work hard, make the starters better, that they're going to get almost a full quarter here on this floor and to also be able to savor this moment.
Lexi Wallen left at that last whistle. Brooke Remley is coming into the game. You just saw her the interview moments ago for Prophetstown.
How about the hustle there of Corey Reilly going out with a knee injury, banged it on the floor hard a couple seconds ago, and now she's back in fighting for an offensive rebound. Dragged to the floor again and popped right back up.
Foul on Turner,
Claire Kramer back to the free throw line.
It's been a tough night for Claire. She had such a wonderful semifinal, 17 points, 6 of 10 field goals, and she still has not been able to hit from the field here tonight. Has 3 points on free throws.
There goes Courtney Wax. She will exit here with final seconds of the third quarter. Briscoe will fire at the buzzer. And our third quarter comes to a close. All St. Thomas More, 8 minutes away from a state championship at ISU.
Now it's time for the IHSA free throw competition.
It is a 39-point lead for St. Thomas More and the Prophetstown fans. They're all here still celebrating, and they're happy to be on TV. The head coach, we talked a lot about Don Robinson, but we forget how good of a basketball player he was in his playing days, leading Thompson to the state championship, finishing in 4th place in 1972, leading the state in scoring that year, 123 points in his 3 games at the state level. You know, I got a tweet from a guy named Roger Strukoff who said, I held Donnie to 28 points when we played Thompson that year. I got that in the pregame. I don't think they had Twitter 42 years ago, guys.
You gotta love Twitter. Everybody can get their 2 cents in.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
I bet Don Robinson will appreciate hearing that when he listens back to this game. That's hilarious.
Final 8 minutes of the girls' Class 2A basketball season. That one just falls off for Henriken. Reilly on the cut. And Reilly the rebound. This time it's Leah Allison, the board, a sophomore for St. Thomas More. Ball will go to the Lady Prophets.
Just been such a rough go offensively for Prophetstown. They're shooting just 16%, but they've been getting a lot of great looks down there. You saw it's not going in.
Elizabeth Bristow will exit, replaced by Eliza Kramer. Henriken guarded by Hannah Murray. Allison on Remley. Taylor Bolton has it. She will give it up to Henriken. Kramer still looking for that first basket. A little while ago. Reilly tonight just 2 of 12, 0 of 6 from 3-point range, and the steal will go to Kramer. Tied up by Reilly. So there you go. So your team is down by almost 40 points. I'm talking about Corey Reilly here. You're 2 of 12 from the field. You're 0 of 6 from 3-point range. You banged up your knee a little while ago, and you're still in there scrapping as Corey leaves. That says something about the junior.
Yeah. She wanted to get back on the floor and play a few more minutes. And she's getting emotional over on the bench right now.
What a ride this has been for Prophetstown. Now, they will have their 24-game winning streak broken, so let's not fool anybody to think that this was a Cinderella team. But the idea that they came down here the first time in Don Robinson's 37 years, how emotional of a week it's been. And it's only been 8 days since they came up with a crucial sectional championship win. Allison hits a 3. So much has happened in such a compressed time period that now things start getting released.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say their emotions are all over the place. They're happy, they're relieved, they're, you know, now they're sad. It's a roller coaster ride for these girls, and to keep it all in and to play brave and to play hard here in the state championship game at Redbird Arena. I mean, it's a lot, so you can't blame Corey Reilly for finally having that release of emotion when she went to the bench just now. And
Claire Kramer joins her there. Remley can't get that 3. Kramer was replaced by senior Sydney Weston, so Prophetstown will get their seniors into the ball game. Only 5 of them on the entire roster. everything going down tonight. Eliza Kramer with that bucket, freshman. 68-24 lead.
I always love to see when the starters are on the bench and the reserves are doing well, how they rise to their feet and cheer on those guys just the way that the reserves have been cheering them on all season. And great teamwork there, a great show of support that the St. Thomas More stars are giving the other girls on their team.
Henriken on the drive. We have 3 people at the scores table ready to come in. Both coaches making sure that every single person on their bench in uniform will get into this ball game. Put yourself into the record books, truly the IHSA record books. Get yourself on TV, the memories that will stay with you forever.
It's something to tell the kids. I mean, how many people can say that they played in a state championship game? Not very many.
As some folks would like to tell you, that whatever accomplishments you had in the state finals will be expanded as you get older.
Exactly. Maybe not everybody will bring the stat sheet home.
4:44 left and a 44-point lead for St. Thomas More.
St. Thomas More students celebrating, having a good time here. They've been dancing all day too. Matt Rodewald with you here at Redbird Arena. We always go from Championship Saturday to Celebration Sunday, and it's no different for at least Prophetstown. 2 o'clock tomorrow for those of you watching in the Quad Cities. 2 o'clock at the high school at Prophetstown. They'll be celebrating then. As for St. Thomas More, no, it's not going to be on Sunday. It's going to be Tuesday. They got to wait a couple more days for their official celebration, which means, Dave, they have to jump around for 48 straight hours until that celebration, 2:30 on Tuesday at the school.
Like they might be able to handle that. And these players, too, they love running around.
Short little jumper. You talk about getting yourself in the record books. Kayla Crane for Prophetstown. The other way, the miss from Andy Bolton. And to the free throw line will go Taylor During, 5'7" senior.
Wembley, their first, team's fourth. Taylor During at the free throw line.
Last year, St. Thomas More lost to Nashville 42-29. That's right. This team that has 68 points here with 4:27 to play only scored 29 in last year's state championship game. And Chris Minnick, head coach, talked about his team just flat out wanted to fight and battle and work as hard as they could for a state championship. And he said he drove them and he pushed them too hard. And he finally realized after the Whitney Young game, a game that Whitney Young defeated St. Thomas More handily, he reevaluated and kind of fessed up to his team that he did push them too hard. So he backed off a little bit, and the results speak for themselves.
He took the foot off the pedal a little bit, kind of gave him a little bit of breathing room to reset everything, and really told the girls, listen, I want one of your first priorities to be having fun. Enjoy yourself out there. Be loose. Enjoy it. Enjoy our season. And you can really see the way that they came here to Redbird Arena. This has been a loose team right from the get-go. And we got the footage of them dancing around during the third place game and enjoying this experience.
Now Mickey Walker, number 4, in for St. Thomas More. Brooke Renmley at the free throw line, and she'll get that free throw.
This has been a St. Thomas More team that has been playing very loose, very confidently the entire time that they've been here.
Drive in the lane, rejected out of bounds. And speaking of Chris Mennig, he talks about how much calmer he's been this year coming into the state finals. And that one's thrown away. Let's hear from Chris Mennig.
I mean, anytime you go through anything in life a second time, you would hope you'd be a little smarter for it. And this is no different. You know, our kids just having a routine of knowing, what's going on and what basically the circus tent looks like this time as we go under it. So it's a fun spirit about them. I'm just trying to keep nurturing them.
And he is 3 minutes and 35 seconds away from giving St. Thomas More their first girls basketball championship. And it won't be a very long journey. St. Thomas More just down I-74 in Champaign.
I think they also did a good job of really defining what they wanted out of this season. He was telling us that last year was all about getting here. Let's just get to Redbird Arena. Let's just get to Redbird. And then once they got here, it was like, well, hey, we didn't really talk about what we needed to do to be able to come away with a championship. And they were much more focused in that way this year. State championship was the focus. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, what they needed to do to get to this point, how they needed to play. That focus has really been pinpoint precision for this St. Thomas More team. Knew exactly what they wanted to do from start to finish here this season.
And they came out here tonight and sent a message early, a 26-8 lead at the end of the first quarter. With the steal, Taylor During. Up ahead to Eliza Kramer, lean in, bank shot, no!
That hit every single part of that rim.
And again, that St. Thomas More bench, they are agonizing with each shot that their teammates are taking. Nifty little ball work there from Kaylee Kavarik until the steal the other way by Walker. Walker shoots a little glance over to the bench, who very excited about her performance as the Sabres have hit the 70-point mark.
She took a volleyball roll right into the basket support, too. That was a tough shot.
He misses wide right by Kayla Crane. Still running the floor. Here's Allie Cry. And 2 free throws coming up with 2:13 to play.
And a foul on 33, Brooke Remley, her second, 15 foul.
Eliza Kramer at the free throw line, the freshman for St. Thomas More.
They look into next year. I think that the bullseye is going to be squarely on the backs of St. Thomas More again. You know, this is a team that loses. Obviously, it's glue and Randa Harshbarger, point guard, going to be playing at Southern Indiana next year, but they've got a lot of talent coming back. We mentioned the top 3 scorers are back. Tori Mccoy is only going to continue to get better and better. She is highly sought after by Division I coaches everywhere. It's going to be fun to watch her progression and how she continues to shape the St. Thomas More team.
Pride flying. She's had 2 opportunities. Well, we saw Tori McCoy last year as a freshman. Limited minutes, was in quite a bit of foul trouble last year. We can see how her game has picked up.
Did a better job with that this year.
Yes.
She's much more under control. Defensively, kept herself on the floor. It really wasn't in foul trouble at all here this weekend.
She becomes a, not just, we talk about Prophetstown tonight, their tallest player, 5'8". Creates matchup problems for Prophetstown, but matchup problems for just about anybody else. That's why she's ranked 2nd in the nation in some rankings, 10th in another in the sophomore class.
She's had everybody from Gino REM out to see an open gym that she's participated in. Matt Ballant from Illinois, the head coach there. Purdue, LSU, Wisconsin, the list goes on and on. Everybody wanting to get in on Tori McCoy. DePaul looking at her as well.
Andy Bolton, the freshman, missed those free throws, but how about the freshman experience you're getting down here? And it banked in by Reilly. She looks over at her bench and laughs. I just had a chance to talk to Brooke on Thursday. What a pleasant young lady. I'm really happy for her. Oh, man.
She was the one who was really emotional talking about Don Robinson, and I think she looked right at him and got a big, wide smile back from him as well.
Our St. Thomas More move of the game, Randa Harshbarger, #1, coming right at you on the crossover. The move of the game, compliments of Realtor.com, the most accurate real estate experience. Randa Harshbarger.
When Randa's move started with that steal in the backcourt, 17 turnovers for Prophetstown here in this game. A lot of what St. Thomas More was able to do here today started on the defensive end, and that pressure, that relentless pressure that they can put on you.
Kaylee Kavarik with that free throw, and it appears as if Nikki Walker may have a little cut. They'll bring Madison Mccoy in, I believe.
33, Madison Mccoy enters the game.
Our move of the game for Prophetstown, fellow guard Tori Reilly, 5'2" junior. The move of the game brought to you by Realtor.com. Take your home search mobile with Realtor.com.
Tori Reilly has shown us her toughness this entire game. Remember, she went down hard, knocked up her knee a little bit, came right back into the game, fighting for loose balls and rebounds. She has been such an important piece to the puzzle for Prophetstown, leading scorer for Prophetstown and almost 11 points per game. Just as everybody for Prophetstown, just had a rough day today. Just 4 points for Tori Reilly.
St. Thomas More possession.
Down to the final 53 seconds in the girls 2A season. And again, next week, we begin at noon on Friday. Class 3A girls, Friday night. 4A, Final Four, and crown champions in 3 and 4A a week from today. During gets a shot off. She was, I think, hit on that shot. No whistle, and we play on. Reilly, the senior, will go to the line. 25 players in uniform here tonight, 25 players in the game. And with extended minutes.
First personal, 19 foul. Brooke Reilly, the free throw line with 2 shots.
And Thomas More will win their 23rd game in a row. And Chris Menig is bringing Wax and Harshbarger back into the ball game. His seniors coming back in. They glance back, give him a big smile, and the St. Thomas More fans love it.
Gonna let the seniors have these last final seconds of their high school career.
And there's a senior right there.
Yeah.
Carly Stafford gets a big hand from her hometown fans in Prophetstown.
The seniors playing catch with each other from St. Thomas More.
Yeah.
There was no one else
That's
that
right.
Brenda Harshbarger was going to pass to other than Courtney Wax, her classmate.
And watch, Wax going to get it to Harshbarger.
Yep.
Well, she does give it up. Oh, Wax passes it. And that'll do it.
What a run for St. Thomas More. Just a dominating performance this weekend, flexing their top-ranked muscles, playing the good D, getting it started there, and then so many weapons on offense. They are going to be around for a while, Dave.
Indeed, 70-34, the final score. Your 2A state champions from Champaign, St. Thomas More Sabres. And on the other side, Prophetstown may not feel the best right now, but it will. Second place. First time ever, their girls team has made it to the state finals. And they can say they lost to one of the top 2A teams that we've seen here at Redbird Arena.
And I think that they've really appreciated that perspective, too, the entire way. They've enjoyed the journey. They know what this has meant to their head coach. All the emotion from that Prophetstown team has been fun to watch, and fun to watch them enjoy this.
Last year, many of those people in the middle of your picture there came here to Redbird Arena. They were the heavy favorites to win the state title last year. It didn't happen for them. And to come back and do it in convincing fashion, it's that extra gratification you get.
Redemption, and all the while with a big bullseye on their backs, quite literally. They put that bullseye on the back of their warm-up jerseys. They knew that the target was on their backs. #1 ranked in the state, and they answered all of that pressure and then some all season long.
I think Matt Riddlewald's right. Those guys are going to go for 48 hours. Let's go to our awards presentation.
Well, guys, real quick, let's talk with Tori Mccoy about a state championship. How does it feel?
It feels really great. First year, getting to first place, it's really good. It makes me feel so good. And that, it's my third time at state. To actually get number 1, that feels so awesome.
Frustrating a year ago, it's just definitely a different feeling this time around.
It's a completely different feeling. Getting second place, it went so hard against our team, but yeah, first place is really good.
How much has this guy meant to you?
So much to me, because he believed in me from the first start. I met him. It's so cool.
Well, congratulations. Let you celebrate with your teammates. Chris, real quick, let me ask you, this is a sigh of relief?
Yeah, that is for sure. It's a tough journey when they give you that task in March to get them here and to finish it off. So they played great. They've been a class act the whole year, and they've done everything I've asked. I couldn't be happier for this group of girls.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys.
Chris Menig, Tori Mccoy. A lot of folks may feel as if they'll be back. Let's go check in with Jeff Fritzen, our public address announcer, and we will get those medals and trophies presented here tonight at Redbird Arena.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the court for the presentation of the first and second place team and individual awards for the 2014 Class 2A Girls Basketball State Championship. Presenting team and individual awards are Tim McConnell from Erie High School, Dr. Chuck Nagel from East Peoria High School, Deborah Pitts of Civic Memorial, and Dr. Jeanette Knuckles of Urbana University, all members of the IHSA Board of Directors. This time, please meet the Lady Prophets of Prophetstown High School, who finished the season in second place with a final record of 32 wins and 3 losses. First, the superintendent, David Rogers. Principal, Kevin Parker. Athletic Director, Cordell Jahola. Head Coach, Don Robinson. Assistant Coach, Arthur Wyckoff. Scorekeeper, Deb Robinson. And the Lady Prophets, number 10, Cassie Henriken. Number 12, Kaylee Kubarak. Number 13, Corey Reilly. Number 14, Heather Strike. Number 22, Kalia Crane. #24, Carly Stafford. Number 30, Shelby Adams. #32, Sydney Weston. Number 33, Brooke Remley. Number 42, Michaela Bolton. And number 44, Claire Kramer. At this time, please meet the Sabres of St. Thomas More High School, who finished the season in first place with a final record of 33 wins and 2 losses. First, meet the chaplain of St. Thomas More High School, Father Robert Lampett. Principal, Ryan Bussell. Tennessee.
Oh, too many snow days.
Trainer Kevin Harber.
Congratulations, sir.
Head coach Chris Menig. Assistant coach Scott DeWitt. Assistant coach Braden Hiles. Assistant coach Kate Melby. Assistant coach Brittany Eink. Assistant coach Maria Hillenbrand. Manager Jim Cry. And the Sabres squad members, number 1, Randa Harshbarger. Number 2, Hannah Murray. Number 3, Allie Cry. Number 4, Mickey Walker. Number 5, Elizabeth Bristow. Number 10, Eliza Kramer. Number 12, Courtney Wax. Number 13, Andy Bolton. Number 20, Lauren Croft. Number 22, Taylor During. Number 23, Tori McCoy. Number 24, Lexi Wallen. Number 30, Leah Allison. And number 33, Madison McCoy.
Congratulations.
And now will Coach Robinson and the captains from Prophetstown High School please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Congratulations to the Lady Prophets. And now will Coach Menig and the captains from St. Thomas More High School please step forward to receive the first place trophy. Congratulations to the Sabres of St. Thomas More High School, your 2014 Class 2A state champions.
So St. Thomas More, 70-34 winners over Prophetstown. Their second straight year they've been here. St. Thomas More comes away with that state trophy. And Trish, I have a feeling that folks should not throw away their programs just yet. You may want to hang on to these. There's going to be some familiar names.
A lot of very talented underclassmen on both of these teams. We could see these teams back here again next year. And speaking of familiar teams, we've got the 3A, 4A weekend coming up next weekend, and we do 4A, and we can see some of those same teams from last year coming back here to Redbird Arena in the Class 4A state finals.
I look forward to sitting next to you next weekend right here at Redbird Arena.
See you back here in a week.
Let's go to Matt Rodewald.
All right, Dave, well, as we finish things up here, you can see the kids behind me finishing up their pictures. Prophetstown and St. Thomas More. What did we learn this weekend? We learned that Anawan and St. Thomas More are awfully good, and they had some dominant programs down there in those parts. Dominant wins here in Normal, and they got the state champions that they deserve. We'll see how we can do next weekend when we have 3A and 4A here. Some very good super sectionals scheduled to go. We know there's some weather that may be an issue, but scheduled to go on Monday night, so go check them out. If you can't do that, follow them on IHSA.org, and most of them will be broadcast on IHSA.tv as well. We'll see if we can see teams like Montini and Whitney Young down here, or maybe some newbies like Carmel or Geneva. They could get down here as well. And as far as how things go in a blowout kind of like this, Don Robinson went over to midcourt, shook hands with Chris Menig, and he said, thanks for being classy. A 40-point win, never in doubt. Everybody played, and they took their foot off the gas. In the issue of sportsmanship, that's kind of what it's all about. A good night. St. Thomas More, champions. Anawan, champions. In Class 1A and 2A in 2014, guys.
As Matt said, we will do it all again next week. 3A and 4A action here on the IHSA Television Network begins at noon with 3A semifinals. Great to have you with us this weekend. It's been celebrations all around. Hard-nosed basketball, but that's what it's supposed to be here in the state finals. 1A and 2A champions crowned. Tonight, it was St. Thomas More's night. Prophetstown, a magical season comes to an end, and we'll do it all over again the next 3 weekends here. It's America's original March Madness.